Welcome to the Massage Tools Podcast, your home for cool interviews and reviews. Bob, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today. It's a privilege to have you. And if you don't mind, I'm going to start you with our quick 3 questions. So first off, where did you go to massage school?
Well, there's a short version and there's a long version. So I'm just because I think we have time, I'm going to give you the long version. Okay. I did my first massage training in 1976. And that was motivated by my desire to get into doing sort of body work based on emotional healing. I got my degree in psychology in '74 from Cal State Long Beach in California. And I got really interested in what was then kind of called body psychology. You know, Esalen was very popular in those days, and there was a lot of bioenergetics. And I got interested in Neo-Reichian work. Wilhelm Reich, are you familiar with Reich at all?
I couldn't quote any of his materials, but...
Okay. Well, Reich was a contemporary of Freud, and the premise of his work was that we have armoring in our muscular system that helps us to control our emotional output. So the emotions that we don't want to experience, like fear and anger, we tend to block the flow of that energy by using muscular postural issues. He called it muscular armoring. So my interest in going to this massage training was because it was a prerequisite to a training I was going to do with a Neo-Reichian group in LA. So as it turns out, I didn't follow that path, but that was my first 100-hour training in massage was in '76. So I didn't really do much with that. And then in 1981, I started a program at IPSB in Los Angeles. So IPSB, Institute for Psychostructural Balancing, the mothership was in San Diego, and they have a satellite in LA. And by the way, our friend Tony Poland attended IPSB like many years after I did, but he still teaches there. So it's kind of interesting to see the interconnections in our field, right?
Yeah, that's fascinating because it's Tony was on some of our earlier episodes. Bill was just on 2 episodes ago, and I trained under Bill, but Bill teaches at EPSI. You train there, Tony's trained there. It's weird that I didn't know these direct lines of connection. That's a fun little.
And listening to Bill's conversation with you, I didn't realize that he was one of the founders of IPSB. I knew there was about 10 or 12 people that sort of pulled that all together, but I didn't know that. And so in '81, I did the basic 120-hour training at IPSB, and then during that time, also started studying with John Davidson, also from the Taoist Sanctuary, who Bill studied with us. He was, I think he was living in San Diego at that time, but he was coming back to LA a couple weekends a month to teach. So because IPSB's sort of program was more or less based on the Rolfing model, right? And then John Davidson was teaching sort of the Chinese healing that also had an emotional component to it. That was kind of where my interest was when I went back to massage. So did a little bit of that, and then in 1982, after a long sailing trip into the South Pacific, I moved to San Diego, basically to study more with John, and also to continue my education at IPSB in San Diego. So that's kind of the long version of how I got into doing massage. And most people have an origin story where they were helped from some injury or accident process and received massage and it helped them, and then that's why they got into the field, or they're athletes who received massage for injuries and then got into the field of massage. Mine is really much more sort of sideways. I came in from the psychology end of it.
Yeah, that's definitely a unique origin for the guests that we've had on so far. One of the episodes I kind of introduced myself, and I got into it because I wanted to help other athletes that I was training with, but it wasn't a personal experience. It was a motivation to help. But same or I guess a similar idea, but
Right.
undergrad in psychology. Happen to have one myself, so
Okay. All right. And where did you get your degree?
I got
Your
that from State University of New York at Oswego, which is
okay. Uh-huh.
upstate New York, north of Syracuse. So
Uh-huh.
some people call
Okay.
that Canada, but not quite.
Yes.
But
You can see
mine's
Canada from there.
yeah.
Yep.
I was on the northern border of that campus was Lake Ontario, so it was 23 miles to Canada. I mean, pretty close.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah, I was going more for kind of a general behavioral psychology and whatnot. And I took
Uh-huh.
that into an animal training career and then decided to pursue body work. And that's, yeah, I've lived a diverse life at the moment.
Yes. Right. Yeah. So you wait. You went from a degree in psychology to animal training, like behavioral psychology, like
Yeah,
sort of.
yeah.
Okay.
Applied behavioral psychology, if
Applied
you wanted
behavioral psychology. Right.
to. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that comes in handy when you're working with athletes in the massage table too. It's like you can do
Absolutely.
some conditioning with them, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, some of it is was definitely beneficial because with animal training, you can't verbalize what you want the animal to do or whatnot. So it's actually been really good, kind of a soft skill development on how to do some work with people and not necessarily have to verbally communicate. Like it's a great skill. It's why we are the creature we are, but it is nice to have the nonverbal cues and be able to pick up on them a lot easier having spent 5 years with animals. Now
Sure.
it's and it's been fun. I haven't done a lot of it, but I have kind of dabbled ever so briefly with some equine massage. And it was one of those I
Uh-huh.
needed the nonverbal training as an animal trainer, and then I needed the hands-on skills with people, the verbal feedback, like how does that feel? Oh, that's more tender there. I can feel this tension pattern and getting the information from the client experience, and then went and worked on some horses and was getting some good result. And I'm like, oh, it's tight here. And oh, I can see them kind of shifting and modifying their position. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
cool. I guess if I wanted to leave humans behind, I have enough of foundation to start pursuing that. But I like working with people too much at the moment. So I'm going to stick with
Okay.
them for now.
Yeah. Okay.
But
You always have that fallback, though, should you really get sick of people. Yeah.
yeah, I guess, that was one of the things I did figure out with animal training though, is I realized I thought I didn't want to work with people. I wanted to work with animals. And then I
Mm-hmm.
started any animal trainer will tell you this, you are working with people when you're training animals. And
Absolutely.
it's but one of the things I enjoyed about it was actually when I had people and I was teaching them about what was going on with the animal, and that was one of the things I love. So I love working with my clients. I love teaching them about what's going on in a movement and just being able to show them right there and like move it this way or move that way, see how that feels. And that's that was something I was kind of missing while I was an animal trainer. And then I found my way into working with people as a massage therapist and haven't really looked back much since.
Cool. And you did your massage training in San Diego,
I did, yes. I
right?
went to at the time it was Pacific College of Oriental Medicine. They've
Yeah.
updated it to Pacific College of Health Sciences,
Okay.
and I did most of my massage training under Bill Helm. It was
Mm-hmm.
two episodes ago. So yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool origins with the psychology, the body armoring, and that was your introduction into body work as a whole.
Yeah.
How long have you been operating like part time, full time as a massage therapist, body worker?
Well, let's see. When I moved to San Diego, I moved into a house full of body workers, and uh, I got a job in a chiropractic clinic, which was continuing my education because that doctor, Bill Mariner, uh, uh, did soft tissue work with every patient before he treated them. And so he hired me to take on that piece of the work. So he was teaching me kind of his version of the soft tissue work that he learned as a chiropractor, uh, basically preparing the muscles along the spine and the hips to be able to receive a chiropractic adjustment and not like pull tight muscles, pull the bones right back out of place. So I would see every patient before he would see the patient. So uh, he taught me a lot about the conditions that he was treating, and so that was my main gig there. That was like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday job. And then as I got to know some of his patients, they were asking me if they could just come in for a normal, like regular massage treatment. And Bill was kind enough to allow me to use his office on the days that he was closed to schedule patients. So that was pretty much 1982. I started pretty much full time doing massage therapy. Okay. And so I worked for him, and then I also, at the same time, I had a job in a hotel in San Diego. They had a health club, and what they had done was curtain off a section of the workout room for to put a massage table in. So I worked there, part time, just sort of on call, and it was very challenging because there might be an aerobics class going on in the main room, and I'm trying to do a massage behind the curtain. So we were practicing with, there, can you put headphones on? How can we block out the noise? And so it was an interesting adventure to try to help people relax. But it also got me used to working in a non-quiet, setting. So it prepared me for doing event work as well. And so I count the start of my career as 1981. So basically I've been doing massage more or less full time since then. So 39 years.
Thank you for joining us, folks. The mission of Massage Tools Podcast is to inspire. So help us inspire you. Ask questions, leave suggestions in the comments section. Give us a like if you enjoyed the video. And if you want to see more content, please click that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and hey, check out these links for other videos here.